YouTube people,
Yo,
podcast people, what's up?
it's happening.
It is Wednesday for those who are watching live. This is 12 Volt Talk. Big D, aka Willie Wilson, aka Big Dummy, aka Wilson Audio Labs, is here with High Five Vega. What's going on, Rob?
Yo, man, just chilling, cooling out. Air conditioner kicked on today, so it's a good sign.
Oh,
Spring is near.
we're expecting some bad weather tomorrow. They even canceled the regular schools, but guess what? Since all this virtual stuff
learning,
is live,
got him.
kids ain't got no break. They still got to go.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
No more
Give them
snow
a
day.
break, man. It's been rough.
Snow days are gone forever.
They're just killing people.
Wait, do you have green on?
I showed off a green bike today. I'm over this whole green thing.
I'm trying to pinch you right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Ow, mother.
Yeah, you feel that?
Oh, sorry. See, really, my shirt is green. It's just the camera makes it look blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott Power Hog, what is up in the hose?
Yeah.
Well, we are busting out on the last episode of Double Digits tonight.
Yeah, man.
Episode
this
99.
the end of an era.
That's crazy, man. I didn't know I could count that high, much less
got
do
99 problems.
episodes.
Yeah, we got 99 problems.
Well, you've done 99 episodes. I've not been on maybe like 2 or 3. I don't know how many I've been out of.
I think I missed an episode, didn't I?
Oh, maybe you did.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and see, or make that a contest question or something for the future.
I bet you Sean K could tell us. He knows.
He probably could, yeah. Burning his ears. He listens to us and wonders why when he finishes why he spent all that time listening to us, I bet.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of Sean K, if you guys are on Facebook and you're on the Old School Stereo official for sale group, Sean K just posted some really nice stuff that he's letting go of, and it's drool worthy.
Uh-oh.
He's got like some old MTX amps. He's got some old, what was the other one I just saw? He had some Rockford stuff. He had some other. I don't know what's
I'm not
up.
going to look.
Don't look.
You know, I've gotten away from collecting old school, but I fell back in the trap a little bit, fellas. So I gotta make sure I don't just go head first in.
Yeah, it's a trap because we have the excuse of we got to show it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, show it on YouTube. I'm gonna spend $1,400
Hey,
on stuff to show on YouTube.
you make it, you got to spend it, right?
Yeah.
Or the tax man come around and say, "Hey, you made too much and didn't spend enough." Don't
Look
seem
at this
right.
guy. I heard he's the new car audio fab king.
Oh man, that was some funny stuff. If y'all haven't seen the latest Sound Man, you gotta go. And it even starts with the thumbnail. Doug is like, he's like Photoshop master, but he's got like the Luke with Princess Leia, and he's Luke and Mark from Car Audio Fabrication's Princess Leia. It is hilarious. I know that he's just playing with Mark, but everybody's probably like, "Wow, he's really putting him." They're good friends. It's all in good fun, but Doug is just hilarious. That guy's a killer. He's dropping them hard. But yeah, he was. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm gonna give you a little teaser. So he was saying that DIY audio guy was going to take over Car Audio Fabrication. Said he's an up and comer that's going to take him down, and so he was cracking on him the whole time. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's definitely, Doug put like 4 panels in his bass van, so he didn't get much done. But him just goofing off it's hilarious. It'll make you laugh. If you're having a bad day, you got to go see it because it'll make your day better. Promise.
Yeah, you don't watch Soundman videos to actually see projects get completed. That's not what you're there for.
No, not at all. So tonight we have a repeating guest, and he may be maybe not the first, but he's one of the very few that probably count on one hand that's a recurring guest.
Yeah.
And we're going to drop him in here so you guys can see the homie, Geoff.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up, brother? Geoff is. How long have you been at Parts Express now? Has it been like 3 years?
3.5 years. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's awesome. I remember all the posts you made about getting the job and how excited you were. And it was like, man, this is awesome because I met you for the first time, I think, in 2014 at the finals. I think we might have known each other online a little bit. That's the first time we met in person.
Yeah, that was the 1 year I took off from competing. That's the 1 year I didn't do it. Then I came for the old school meetup, and I just met everybody there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was good times. I can't wait till things get back to normal so we can do stuff like that again because we really miss all that. It's just something that you really never forget. Getting to hang out with your buds and meet new people and see creativity that other people have done, and it's lots of fun.
Oh yeah, tell me about it, man. I missed the past two finals. Last year obviously because I had some stuff going on personal, but the year before that I actually it was my first year in my current position as like a project manager. So they told me like 2 months ahead of time, like, oh, by the way, you're going to China in 2 months. I'm like, I'm what? So I had to go ahead and get everything. I didn't even have a passport. I had to get my passport like as soon as they told me. They're like, you should leave here and probably go get your photo taken and stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
Wow. Wow. You should be prepared to use chopsticks.
Oh yeah. No, I embarrassed myself. I didn't do it right the whole time. I mean, I eat lots of I go to like dim sum and I eat pho and I get bibimbap and all that stuff, but I never use chopsticks right. And I know that like when I was over there, we had people that were taking us around, and I know that they were making comments and laughing at me because I wasn't using them right.
All I would do, Geoff, is just get 3 of them, and I would hold them so they make into a fork, and then I'd be good.
Or I just carry that, the little Swiss Army knife with the little spoon and the.
Yeah, Rob. Let's see you get through security with that.
Not just security. Just wait till the Chinese government finds out I have it.
Yeah, no
you may not come back, Rob. It may be the end of Rob.
Yeah, I'll make it out of plastic or something. I don't know.
They'll be sending Chris Hansen over there looking for you. Where's Rob? Where's Hi-Fi Vega? He got caught on a shipping container.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So speaking of shipping container, Geoff, Rob and I talked about this a couple episodes ago. We were talking about everything going on with the pandemic and parts being difficult to obtain and all that stuff. But we also talked about how we've seen like the uptick in demand for cars, any kind of specialty items like electronics and any kind of DIY items because people have more time now, I guess, because they're home. So how have things been going at Parts Express? Have you guys experienced the same thing, like a massive sale, rise, and you just can't keep stuff in stock? Is that how it's working there?
Oh yeah, no, we had like a lot of other car audio, especially retailers, electronics dealers. I think Crutchfield also. I had some friends that worked in that area. They told me that they were doing extremely well too, and we had just record years left and right on pretty much everything. And our car audio, even though like right now, I'm working on kind of gutting and starting over. So I don't do any of the like domestic brand stuff. Like I don't. We recently had a DS18 and stuff like that, but that's not something that I dealt with. But we're gonna work on bringing in hopefully some Dayton audio equipment here soon. I know I personally am working on a marine thing that's coming in here soon. But the market's just so hot with all this stuff, and a lot of it's just because people are spending more time in their house, more time in their cars. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot for these people to do. And if they are out doing something, more than likely they're pretty bored doing it. So they're going to find something else to do.
I mean, you have to think about all the money that people are not spending going to concerts and, going to any kind of large venues that they used to go to. And now it's like, a lot of people are upgrading their home systems, their home theaters. They're putting in projectors. Like you said, they've got more time to do DIY stuff. So they're buying stuff from Parts Express to do projects and build speakers and all the other fun stuff that comes along with the DIY, community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's something that we definitely appreciate that people are willing to like buy from us. I mean, Parts Express was like a family grown business. I mean, it's all here local in the Dayton area, and Dayton Audio, obviously, everything that's from Dayton Audio. A lot of people think that it's just like slap a badge on it, but we have driver engineers here in house that like design everything. Nothing is just like, oh, that looks cool, slap a label on it. We do something to everything that we bring in, and especially the drivers. A lot of those are just engineered from scratch here.
That's awesome. I know, and Rob can probably comment on this as well, but way back in the day, getting a Parts Express catalog was just as exciting as getting a Crutchfield or whatever. And they've been around, was it like the mid 80s or something? Is it like 85, 86, something like that?
Yeah. Yes, we've been around a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I just remember, man, those catalogs, and I would go through and I would, I'd circle the drivers because I always wanted, those big Polk tower speakers that had like all the 6.5s and the big passive at the bottom and the tweeters at the top. I always wanted to do like a Parts Express version using some of the closeout drivers and everything. And it's like every time I add it up though, and then once I even though they were relatively inexpensive, when you buy like 20 of anything, it gets kind of.
Well, that's what EXO did. That remember?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, so
EXO made some really cool speakers.
I actually supplied him. I got in touch with him, was talking to him, and I'm like, Bruce, you got to redo all these things, man. You just got to redo them, and let's do it better. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm sending you everything. And then he like got all the stuff, and he's just like, this is a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's all right though. Don't worry about
it. You got to Jedi mind trick him. Like
we got to work. We got to work on Bruce's value. He's got a lot of value that he doesn't sell himself enough. We're working on that because he's got a huge audience and people love to watch his content. So that's great that you guys reached out to him and worked with him because I think he's skilled, man. He does awesome work and he takes his time. He doesn't rush through anything, and his videos are just fun. He puts a lot of effort into them.
When I showed him to the people at Parts Express, because nobody there is like really car audio oriented except for me, and so I'm like, I think we should send this guy some stuff, and they're like, let's watch his videos, and then they're like, you want to send him some stuff? I'm like, why don't you just look at just watch the video all the way through? It's fun. Yeah. They're like, okay, this is cool, and then I'm like, now look at the views, and they're like, oh God.
Yeah, he gets the views. I mean, he's entertaining, and that's that's a
he
good
has
part
some of the best. He has good ideas, like laying on top of the woofers before he blow them the 18s. That's like one of the best clips ever.
It is. I don't know how many people actually use that without his permission, but it was a lot, and I know he had people that had millions of views with that, and but yeah, that was so cool. I mean, he's a little dude. Don't get me wrong. You've probably seen the picture, me and Rob and him, and he's in the middle, and he's a little dude, but man, he is like full of energy. He's he's always doing stuff and working toward the hobby and everything. So he's lots of fun. That's great that you guys work with him. I'm glad to see that. And back to Parts Express. You guys have been killing it for a long time. Your catalogs have always been drool worthy. I know most of the stuff now is kind of online. I get some small flyers from Parts Express now. I was going to see there's probably one around here near me, but it's the same thing now. When I get it, I'm like looking through and I say, oh, what's cool? I need to get it to the website because there's still something about having the physical paper, right? You're flipping through it and it's like, oh, this is on sale. You go to the website because you can go to the website at any time, but a lot of times it's hard to find out exactly what's going to kind of reach out and grab you. Right. But when you've got that physical media in front of you,
those little mailers are good at that because they'll highlight the things you're like, oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yes,
I want one. And then it's going to be like $79. And you're like, I need $20 more worth of stuff to get the free shipping. or you're like, I actually need $70 more worth of stuff to get the discount off the one. That's genius because every time I order from there, I'm like, all right, what can I get for $20 to do this or that?
So a lot of people that are frequent customers know that we recently updated our website. So the whole platform changed, and it's been a little bit of a rough transition. Like it's not the same feel, and it's kind of like growing pains. So we kind of outgrew the old website, and we need to do something new. And we're continuously working on getting everything back to where we find our standards are. So it's taken a little bit of time. But the cool thing about this new website is we're able to do like different kinds of discount codes and like add-ons. So like we can do at some point we could do like one of the things that somebody wants to do is like called curated carts. So it's like when you add this one thing to your cart, it's like, hey, this is really cool, and you could add these things that make this. Like it's like specifically curated like certain products. So if you have this in your cart and you're this in your cart, oh, by the way, you're like one item away from doing this.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it to you. I think the new site looks fantastic. And the funny thing about it is, the largest retailer in the world, Amazon, has got the worst, clunkiest piece of junk site.
Absolute trash.
It's like I cannot. Of course, they like that. We don't care. We sell a bunch, but
It's like you can go on eBay or Parts Express, and you can narrow it down so far and get exactly what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. And we're working on getting that. Like that's another thing that kind of got messed up in the transition. But we have meetings like every day on trying to get things fixed, and our IT team and our web team are all working together to get all this stuff fixed. So, I know some people are frustrated because I've seen it, but it's getting better.
Well, and the new site is much better on this
on the
right
mobile.
Here.
Yep,
it is so much better for mobile now.
At the very top of the site, the sales flyer is there. That's brilliant too, because then you don't have to wait to get the physical. You just go here and click the little button, because it's something about just having the little flyer and the people who created the graphic designers and all the people that put that together. To me, that's always been brilliant, because it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like the late night TV where they'd sell stuff, the home shopping and some of the you just flip through the channels and sometimes you just kind of like fall into it. You're so engaged. I feel that way with these sales brochures. They just grab my attention, they'll have like some stars around the prices and be like, oh, that's on sale. That's a good price. I need to get that.
Man, I get drawn into those commercials for a different reason. So there's a subreddit called Where Did the Soda Go? And it's like it has all of these like infomercials and just how stupid they are. So it started with there was an infomercial. It was like this lady carrying the tray, and she was like, "Oh no!" and she falls into this chair, and like a tray tips over, but there was a soda, and then it disappeared. It's like, what? So then now it's just a whole bunch of these dumb infomercial things, and it's just like people like trying to put on socks, and they're like putting it on their head and like trying to figure out where it goes, and then it's like for a shoehorn or something, and I'm like.
There's a whole subsection of videos. It's like people in infomercials can't do anything right. Videos on YouTube. Those are great. Gold.
They are great. Real quick, I wanted to give Thomas a shout out. Thank you,
Marshall.
Thomas. We appreciate that. He's always reminding everybody to hit the like button. And I can tell you the one thing I noticed, and Rob, I don't know if you've noticed this either, because I usually watch the Kicker stream on Tuesday night with my computer. But if you watch it on mobile, I was even looking at, I'm like, how do I do a like on the mobile? Because if you leave the comments up,
you got to
raise up, and you have to kind of get rid of the comments so you can do the like. So I can understand if somebody, I mean, we're supposedly be YouTube experts, but yet it's still confusing to us. So you gotta get rid of the comments for a minute, then you can hit the like, then you can watch the comments again. That's how it works. But thank you, Thomas. We appreciate that.
We have one question for Geoff. The Fountech FR59EXE 2-inch with grill has been removed. Is it coming back?
I would say probably not. I mean, if a product gets removed like that and it's no longer on the website, more than likely manufacturer issues, and they said they're going to discontinue it, or it had really poor sales. So that's how it is. If you guys ever notice that, like, since we're a distributor for like Peerless and all of that, we don't really remove products because we have such a high OEM clientele, high amount of OEM clientele that want to buy things and like tweak things that come off the shelf like a little bit. We actually leave a lot of the Peerless stuff up, and if it has like a 100-piece MOQ, or it says you have to buy 500 of these or something like that. So you can still add it to cart, but you have to buy that many. So that's like, if people say, well, I just don't understand why does this have a 500-piece MOQ? And it's because it just didn't sell that well. We always get like a trial order on this stuff. So if there's a new part that comes in from Peerless, we can have it on our website. And if it sells well, that's awesome. But if not, we basically just sell through the inventory and then make it available for anybody that wants to buy high quantity.
Yeah. So how, Geoff, and I know you've got some products we're going to show off and things you want to talk about, but before we get to that, I was always curious is like the blowouts and the things that go on sale. Is that usually when you get stuff in a real big quantity for a good price, or is that something that's discontinued, or how do those type things work usually?
Normally they just actually come to us. We try not to seek out that kind of stuff because the best deals always seem to find us. Like there was the buyout on some drivers from a really high end from the Teal buyout a while back. I don't know if everybody remembers that, but that was a big deal, and a lot of people wanted to buy that stuff. And it would have been a cool thing for us to have, but the prices on that stuff went up so high in comparison to like the deals that we get from some of these manufacturers. And we have people come to us all the time. It's like, I just bought a warehouse and I have what I estimate to be $60,000 worth of pro audio stuff. Do you want to buy it? And it's like, maybe. How desperate are you to get rid of it? So
and
it's
you
like
guys popped up with cool stuff like the HSU subs and
pennies on the dollar a lot of the time, really. Like,
yeah.
But that's kind of how it has to be because we're still paying like tens of thousands of dollars for all this stuff, and the only reason we're able to do is because we've got the buying power from all the sales that we have on the stuff, and we have the market to sell it to. So we can't just buy anything anymore. But the management has like specific like rules to doing buyouts now too.
Yeah, I urge anybody who's going to the site, make sure you just go to the clearance section, just go through it. I mean, it's fun to see all the stuff that's on clearance. It's just a little frustrating when you get to something. Oh, that's cool. Oh, out of stock. I just saw the Dayton HTA 100 BT. I was like, clearance, $102. I clicked, out of stock.
And that's the 88 stuff. So that stuff comes in and it's like, maybe with the tube amp, maybe the tubes got damaged in shipping somehow. So then they say, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't want this. So they send it back. And when it comes back, it's like, okay, well, we got replacement tubes. We could have sent them out, but guy didn't want them. So we replaced the tubes. We can't sell it as brand new. So then we just go ahead and post it up there. And man, those things, it flies like crazy. You wouldn't believe it.
Well, I've done a video on one of the tube amps I got off of Amazon, and that video did extremely well. So anytime you guys, want some videos about some tube amps, I know a guy.
Man, so the thing that I like most about you, Derek, is I remember when I first got into I was a product manager, and you got a hold of us and were asking us about, or you did a video, I think it was like the La Pie or something like that. And I'm like, hey, do you want to review some of this other stuff? And you're like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, I'll send you one. He's like, no, you can't send it to me. I'm like, what do you mean? I can't, I have to pay for it. And it's like, well, no, man, I'll send it to you. No. It goes against the standards. I can't do that. So you won't accept anything for free. You have to pay for it out of your own pocket because you care and because you want to make sure that's like fair, unbiased video. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And that has changed somewhat, but I still do that a lot. I have things sent to me now, just because of the sheer questions and the sheer interest, I guess, in videos being created. That I feel like, hey, if I can get things to do, that I don't have to pay for, that helps me get more products in. But you're right. For the longest time, and Rob always fought me against that, saying, why are you doing this when you can get the products? And I'm trying to think like, well, if I'm going to tell people what I really think, then I had to pay for it. But that's not really true. I think people understand the way I do things, and they understand that it doesn't matter if it's free or not. I'm still going to tell people what I think, and that's kind of how I've gotten to this point now, but I do appreciate you saying that. But now I want to talk about some of the things you want to talk about what's going on at Parts Express. You got some products, you want some things you want to talk about. Tell us what's up.
Well, it looks like somebody wants to know about the marine stuff I mentioned.
Yeah, Jesse's already prying.
So I've got it's a product that should be in probably I'd say beginning of next month. We should be able to have it ready to be sold. But it's our first real venture into like Dayton mobile audio of any type. I mean, dedicated, and it's a marine head unit. So I can't give like a ton of details on it, but it's a head unit. It has video screen, and it's very very competitive. I can't really say it's cheap because it's not cheap, because that infers that it's not high quality. It's a really good price, and it's very competitive with all the other stuff on the market. So
interesting.
That's cool. I know that marine is an exploding market too. You know, Kip at Kicker has told us the same thing. You know, they diversify across many different areas. You know, once car audio started having problems, they had, you know, other industries that kind of helped them stay afloat. But I know that, you know, just like now we're talking about how you can't do things. Well, people have boats and they want to have fun and, you know, want to enjoy the lake or the ocean or the stream or wherever they're going to take their boat out. So I you know, you guys know more about the sales in that type of market than me, but I would say from what I've seen from the other manufacturers, it's definitely a hot area. That and also the two-wheeled, like the motorcycles and stuff, are pretty hot.
Oh yeah,
we have a lot of people asking about those little small amplifiers and stuff.
Man, so we at Parts Express, a lot of people don't realize this, but we do so much OEM business with like people you would never expect. Companies all around the world contract us to design and like do all kinds of things for them. Everything from implementing exciters into their business to designing amplifiers for them, designing speakers for high-end audio manufacturers. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff for everybody all around the world. And Parts Express isn't necessarily known for that, but we should be. It's over half of our business. Like doing like OEM and commercial sales stuff. We supply a lot of people all around the world. So,
yeah. And nobody, I mean, I didn't really know that either.
Yeah, it's really cool. Parts Express is a big player in the audio industry. Like we have people on a lot of the boards for like audio communities around the world, like just some of the like high standard audio testing. I can't think of the term, but all the
like the CTA and stuff like that, or
stuff like that. Yeah.
CEA.
So we have like our president is on boards for stuff like that. Our engineers are on boards for stuff like that. And the thing that's really cool is our engineers, they're all out there and they do a lot of this stuff for fun too. So they're well versed in the stuff that people are doing for all this, and it actually gives them even more ideas when they find out what like other people are doing. Like, oh, that's so cool. Well, wait, if they're doing that, maybe I could do this, and their mind goes off in a different direction. And man, I can't tell you the amount of times I've heard them come up with ideas that's like their mind just like following and tracing stuff, and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's great to have enthusiasts, you know, in any kind of industry that you're in. If you enjoy, you know, if you're passionate about what you do, then those kind of things are just going to come natural, because you're going to, you know, if you're into boats, marine, whatever, and you into sound systems, then you work at Parts Express, then you see everybody else and what they have, and you know what works, what doesn't work. So it's all good information to gather, and that's great. I mean, I'm jealous, to be honest with you. I'm jealous of you. I'm jealous of Kip. I'm jealous of a lot of people in the industry, because it feels like you guys are like in the playground. You guys are in the yard all day playing, while we're inside with, you know, looking at books and listening to the teacher. Right, Rob?
Right. just being like, yeah, man, this thing sucks. Why does it suck? Well, because I don't got one. That's why.
That's right. So what else you got, Geoff? I know you got some things you want to talk about, and like I said, it's up to you. You can talk about whatever.
Give me one
whatever
second.
you don't want to talk about. Okay, and while we're doing that, yes, third error. Thank you, sir. Put up those old school SPL challenge runs. They are prizes. Yes, sir. That is correct. And thank you, third error, for helping out run the old school SPL challenge.
Well, wait, you guys are running. Why aren't you guys asking for prize money?
Ooh,
What are you guys doing? Why aren't you asking us for like gift cards and stuff?
here we go.
We've been slacking, to be honest.
We
with
have
you.
been slacking.
Jesse the Third Era and Matt Stark have been killing it, but we've been slacking.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about. We'll tell you about what's up with that because it doesn't. The only thing that has to be old is the amplifier. It has to be before 2005 or older. But then all the equipment that you use can be. You can use some 18-inch BNC neodymium subwoofers if you want. Whatever. We're just trying to see
the date. I was showed off a Dayton Audio. It was like $129, 18-inch, 97 dB sensitivity with a FS of like 24. It's crazy. That's a crazy price for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure that the Kraken 21-inch subwoofer is either back in stock or it will be very soon.
I want to see one in a car. Someone's put one in a car, hadn't they?
Oh yeah, if you go onto the product page, I think that there's somebody that has them in the car, or there was somebody that I saw on. I joined I Just Want to Bang, and I regret it a lot. But I mean,
you guys are going to have to tell me how to spell that because obviously I can't spell because it didn't find anything in the search.
Like Kraken.
Right.
Take the C out, big dummy. So it's like Kraken, but it's Kraken. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. So we've shown this before, but you can never, ever get enough of this gorgeousness right here. Check out that mama jama.
And that thing is just crazy. Like when I came in, I hadn't seen it because I went to China. We were working with the manufacturer on developing another 21-inch, and I'm like, oh man, this thing's huge. And then it fell under my foot, and then I got real mad. And
that motor's got to be big because if you look at it, it looks like a normal 15.
It sure does.
Like that's a 21-inch.
That is a massive motor.
Somebody posted about it, and I Just Want to Bang, and they were like, "Man, there's no way that thing handles that much power. Look at the tensile leads. That's bullcrap." And I'm like, you do realize that's a 21-inch, right? Like
that's like 2 gauge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really cool, and there's also a mate to this one called the Vortex, and that one's more of the pro audio line, but it's still, man, it's efficient and it plays low, and it's so cool. I mean, we have a guy that competes locally, and he actually works in the warehouse, and we're setting him up with one. So we're going to see what he can do with that. We're pretty excited about seeing what's going to happen.
So let me ask you, just in case you know, or if you don't, that's fine. But I'm just curious. When it says 2,000 watts RMS, how is that? You guys have done the Clipple verified. I see that. But is that measured like over a period of time, or how do you figure out that 2,000?
We do our power testing over to the AES standard a lot of the time. I'm not sure how they did, because everyone is different based on like the market it's going into. So if it's going into like a high use environment, like the pro audio stuff, we'll do a lot of the AES and make sure that everything's going to handle perfectly. Otherwise, we do our own personal power verification. But let's see. I know for a fact that I showed off on another podcast, I showed off some subwoofers, and then I was told to bring them back the next day so they could set them up and let them run for 24 hours straight at RMS power.
There you go.
Wow,
that's what we like to hear.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
It was a lot of fun when we were. I have some excursion videos of 15-inch that's coming in, and we put it on back there, and that test setup is kind of just, we see it and nobody else does, but really it's a bunch of bungee cables suspending like the subwoofer above, and then we have a power amp off to the side. So it's just so that way nothing like walks itself off a table.
Yeah, oh, man.
It's suspended. It's not affected. The pull vent's not covered or anything like that. But I put it in there, and it was like just an insane amount of excursion. It was like 2.5 inch or 3 inch peak to peak, and I was just watching. I'm like, yeah, I like this.
That sounds like a perfect Instagram. What's the other one? TikTok Those ones
Perfect.
have to
Yeah.
be short.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're doing TikToks yet, but I think that we've discussed it, and it's perfect for like home audio, car audio, and pro audio. It's just like a clip of just like, man, look at that subwoofer go,
Yeah,
and then
just
just
flexing.
cut it. I'm like, cool, all right, that was fun.
Yeah,
Go on with my day.
I've got to dip into that. Rob, have you done any TikTok stuff?
No,
yet?
they
I told
have,
my
but
daughter I had
on
to.
Instagram, they'll do like a lot of short videos, and if I'm scrolling through and I see a subwoofer flexing, it makes me stop. I'm like, oh wow, okay.
It's captivating. I mean, it really
You
is.
should ask your kids how to do the TikTok.
Yeah, I know.
I'm consulting. I'm consulting my daughter. She watches it all day. So yeah, but that is a beast of a subwoofer. It weighs, according to the specs here, 116 pounds.
Wow.
So be ready to work out your
That's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
comparative flex.
They're crates.
Yeah,
And people that haven't used like every Dayton audio subwoofer I've played with or speaker, they're pretty conservatively rated on all the ones that I've done. So if they say it'll take 2,000 watts, I'm pretty sure you're okay.
Well, that dust cap looks big enough to put like a Wilson audio or a big dummy audio or Hi-Fi Vega right on it. So you can have all kind of fun with that, couldn't we?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So I do have one product here that I can kind of show off and kind of give a brief showing on. This is the amplifier I've been working on. So this is the HTA 50BT. So this is a hybrid tube amp, but it's also a DAC, a USB DAC, and it also has some other features. So this is a prototype. As you guys can see, there's like labels on the back. But it's got Bluetooth, USB, optical, coaxial. It's got a little bit of everything. And it's been updated since this one was out, but this is the one I've been using and I love it. So the tubes light up blue. This is definitely more of a desktop amplifier, but it's a unique form factor. There's no amplifier like this on the market. Like I said, we develop a lot of this stuff in-house, and we come up with all the ideas and tell everybody what we want. And if there's an issue, we design something around it and make it work. So there's nothing that I liked on the market for something like this. And I'm like, I want something that nobody else has. I want it to look cool. So I came up with this.
You got me cool. In with the tubes. You just see the tubes and a big volume knob. It's like, I don't need anything else. When I see that just get the VU meter. I can't do the VU meters.
Sorry, it's just me.
Yeah,
maybe it's just me, but I like the VU meters.
There's a reason we sell so many. I mean, that's half the nostalgia feel of it. People love it. And when I was designing it, I'm like, man, what's somebody gonna want? And I'm like, okay, they're gonna like the amber hue to it. The amber hue is the old school feel. I'm like, okay, like the old Sony stuff. And I'm like, man, I love VU meters. Everybody in the old school stuff loves VU meters. Throw a couple of VU meters on it, get them calibrated, make sure that they work correctly, and they're not just like jumping all over the place, but like make them actually function correctly. And it worked out, man. We sell just so many of those things. We can't keep them in stock, no matter like the quantity. I've doubled the quantity like on the past 2 orders, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep everything in stock still.
Wow,
that's insane. Well, the crazy thing too with the record players and vinyl and everything, being kind of like the new hip thing. My young daughter is into it, so she's buying records again. Of course, the player that she has, I try not to judge, but I'm like, we could make this sound so much better by getting something nicer and a nice amp and some speakers. I don't want all that, Daddy.
It's not a Boytone, is it?
A what?
Boytone, the brand.
It's a Crosley or some cheap.
Oh no!
But see, what I want to do.
It was from the 50s.
Well, no. What I want to do is I want to like keep the form factor, but I want to get her a really nice turntable and get maybe some Parts Express components and like build her, in the same size so it doesn't take up much room, but still. So that may be in a future project, but
you're making it uncool at that point. That's what happens. Like it's cool until Dad starts doing it, and then it's not.
But
cool
I'm
no
like,
more.
Do you hear what I'm hearing? This screech. But yeah, things like that, Geoff. I know that people are into the aesthetics today. Like even with a computer setup. Something like the amp that you're just showing will be super cool to have on your desk, powering a couple of bookshelf speakers, be able to connect your phone to it whenever you want to do Bluetooth. Yeah, that's really slick. I like things like that. I think that's an awesome product.
I just saw a Beck reference, so I'm pretty happy about that in the comments. So, yeah.
2 turntables and a microphone. That's where it's at.
Right.
But yeah, that's just one of the like ones that I have coming in. I have like a flagship amplifier that'll be in like a couple months for like the APA line, which is the power amp line that we have at Dayton, and things just like the coolest amplifier that I've ever used. And it I can't like give away model numbers, but I can give away some specs and stuff. So this is a 1200 watt amplifier. It's two channel, but it's full range on both. So that's the really cool thing is you can go do bridge it, have it mono for a big sub. You can have two smaller subs, or just run some big towers off of it. Now it also does DSP on board, or if you want to, you can control the DSP as long as it's connected to the network via your phone, tablet, computer, anything, because you just type in the IP address, bam, pops up the GUI.
Nice.
Yeah,
That
so
is
it's
cool
real
sounding.
cool.
And
So,
DSP's coming in big in home audio.
DSP's coming up big everywhere. So as we all know, the DSP 408 is it's big. When it came into the market, it was really, really cool because it was so inexpensive. And we're taking everybody's feedback, and we're working on all kinds of stuff. I know that there's sometimes the people experience noise issues, so we're spending a lot of our time. We have an electrical engineer that's working on this project. We have our acoustic engineer that's working on stuff, trying to just make everything sound the best that it can. And he has some vested interest in DSP stuff, so he gets in there, and we have just everybody gets involved, and it's really cool.
That's always really exciting. So you have an open invitation, whenever you guys are getting ready to drop stuff, or if you just have dropped it and you want to talk about it, then you have an open invitation to come back and we can discuss things like that, because we're here to help the community, and, sending people to you guys. You sell awesome products. You have awesome service. You've been around for a long time. Like you said, you're a family company. We like to support people like Parts Express and people like you that work for Parts Express. So we're here to help you guys be a conduit, and it's exciting, man. I mean, talking about, I know it's a lot of work because we're on the end, right? We're the ones that walk into the store and see the shiny toys and get to play with them. And then you and the team and, the engineers, they're working for, months and years on products and bring it out. They're like, shoo. And we're like, I gotta have it.
Yeah.
But
for
ahead,
the Dayton 408, $159, 4 in, 8 out. That's, you can't get close to that, even for double the price right now. So.
Yeah, and there's always stuff that we like to improve. We do whatever we can. We do take customer feedback seriously. So I have a report that comes to me, and it tells me all the 1 and 2 star reviews that we get on every product for each day. So I go through all of that, and if it's stuff that affects my products, I read the feedback, I investigate the issue if there is one, and then if it's something that I can fix really easily, I send an email to the manufacturer and I say, what can we do to fix this? And we go through our options. And if it's something that we can fix without creating a whole new product, then a lot of the time we do it.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting for that high end, the Dayton 808.
The 808.
Yeah.
There you go. or the 812.
Well, no, if we did something, it'd probably have a few more channels that ate on the output.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
There you go. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Did you see the cat?
It's gonna be the 412 or something. 8-volt out. It's gonna be sweet.
Oh man. Oh,
Make it rain.
Deviant's Beardy birthday week. I actually got the picture. I should have brought up on my Instagram, but he sent a picture of he's got what they call a bearded dragon. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like an iguana or ish. But yeah. He hangs out with us on all the streams. So he's the man. If his bearded dragon is what makes him flow, then hey man, we appreciate you hanging out and just being with us because it's all for fun. But yeah, Geoff. So you got any other things you can hint at or
Yeah.
any other fun
So
stuff?
we have 3 lines of subwoofers coming out, raw drivers, in probably the next 6 months. It'll probably be less than that, but I like to leave a little bit of room in there just for good measure. We've got some really, really high end, which is like the MMAG, and that's going to be an Epic brand. So MMAG is a motor technology where essentially it's a bit more efficient than like underhung, but it keeps basically whenever the coil leaves the magnetic field of one magnet, it goes into the field of another magnet up top, so you get more effective excursion, and your coil never leaves the gap, so it's always got the same BL, or really close to the same BL. And we've got 2 of those, but they're real small. They're like 5.5 and 7, but they're insane. They have like the excursion that we have on those is just outrageous, and I can't wait to get them in because I'm definitely going to put one in my OEM spot on my Honda Element. I'm going to toss it in the center console sub. It's going to be perfect.
Oh, there you go. I'll tell you,
Sweet.
there was I can't remember if it was a reference to the high output. They had the high excursion Dayton audios. Are those still in the works?
Yeah, so that there's been some stuff going back and forth on the manufacturer on that and the proper way to manufacture it. Like we went through a lot of issue originally with the Ultimax because people just think it's a normal sub, but it's got like a sub cone, and it's difficult to manufacture stuff like that. So no manufacturer was doing it the way that we wanted it. So we had to move it to another manufacturer to get it done correctly. And so it just takes a little bit of extra time to get these things right, and we think we finally got it. So it's real cool. I had a prototype for a while that I was playing with at the house, and man, I love that thing. It's wonderful. So it's going to be
sure
HE.
2020 wasn't helpful with that, I'm sure.
Oh no, especially in the beginning, it was really hard working with some of the manufacturers in China, especially ones like that we work really close with getting specs exactly the way we want it. Because it's not just like, that looks pretty good. The guy that designs the drivers is like, he's not an engineer, but man, he's read more white papers than anybody I ever known. He is so smart, and he doesn't let anything just go to chance. Subwoofers are his forte, and he lets it be known. So
Yeah, we've heard the stories of having to like be there, and you have to constantly visit and keep up with them, because it's like you can have all the discussions and have the product laid out just like you want it, and they always try to change things and do things differently. So as somebody who wants product developed, it's like you have to stay on the suppliers and the build houses, if you want to call them that provide the products. And you guys know that, I'm sure, a lot better than we do, but we just hearing the stories of nightmares, getting things in that aren't exactly what you intended to have. But it's got to be much more difficult now with COVID. And
yeah, it's really hard. Like what people don't realize is like I can go when I go to China, I can get probably 2 months worth of work done just by sitting in the conference room with somebody for like an hour and a half. I mean, it's because it's a completely different time scale, scale of time. So it's like, oh, you're just talking to that person. Well, really, I have a 4-day work week with these people because it's a 12-hour difference effectively, depending on the time of year, which it just got back, which I'm happy because it was 13. So I can go ahead and email somebody during my work day, and then I'll get a response that next morning. Okay, cool. But if they misunderstand something in the email, it's like, crap, I just wasted a whole day because they just didn't understand what I was phrasing. So I had to go back and fix it. Sometimes I try to get Zoom and Skype meetings going like at 9:00 at night, but effectively it's best if I just stay up till like 2 or 3 in the morning trying to talk to somebody. and that's really hard. It was hard on my family, and it caused some issues. It wasn't just because of that, but that played a big part. I was up real late, didn't go to bed at the same time because I was trying to get work done. But I've found better ways to do it, and things are definitely working out real well because they're willing to work with you if you just ask them. It's not like you don't have to be Superman to get the stuff done, but you have to play smart.
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot in the year time that we've dealt with this pandemic of the ability, even though it's not the same, the in-person thing is not the same, but I think the tools that we have available now for, like you just talked about, Skype and Zoom and Teams and StreamYard and whatever tool that you want to use, definitely they've come a long way and give you the ability to almost be there. I mean, you're not really there. You can't fully see the expressions. You can't, hold things. Like if they're showing you a sample, you can't actually hold it like you could if you're there with your 3 chopsticks. But
speaking of that, so I went. I don't think I paid for dinner the entire time we were out there because it's very rude to try and pay for dinner if you go out to dinner with somebody. So when we were there, we went to lunch with someone and they bought, and they just basically, you don't order either because they just order what they want and they bring it out, and there's just tons and tons of entrees everywhere. And one meal they had all the stuff out, and it was really good. And then they spoke in Chinese to the waiter, and the waiter left, came back, and they had French fries. So like these are like what they call them. They're like Hong Kong fries. They're not French fries, but it's French fries. And I look at it, and I'm just like, okay. And they had like a little Hong Kong flag in it. It was
so like freedom fries.
That's right.
Yes, they don't have Heinz ketchup though, right?
Yeah. Hey man, dip it in the yum yum sauce.
Oh
yeah, that's true.
Oh, that'd be really good. I'm gonna have to try that.
I could never make it in another country because I'm rude in America. So I can't imagine. I'd just be like a bull in a china shop over there. That's like that big fat giant. He doesn't understand anything.
Man, I think the worst thing I had while I was there, it was towards the end of the trip, and we were out to lunch, and we just got done visiting like a manufacturer, and it was a really cool visit. And then he spoke really fluent English. He went to like University of Nebraska, so really cool. I could talk to the guy and get to know him pretty well. And we went out there, and he ordered all the stuff. And this thing comes in, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I take a bite of it, and I'm like, oh, it tasted like dirt. It was just a lotus root. It was like a cold lotus root. It was wet for some reason, and I'm just like, this is terrible. Why would somebody eat this? It's just, oh God. Oh, terrible. But the best thing I had while I was there was a deep fried pigeon.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I was surprised. I was just like, that looks good. I'll take a bite out of that. I'm like, oh man, I just ate the whole thing. It was great.
I've got to ask a question, and people out there who this may offend, you have to excuse me before I ask the question because this is all in good fun, but I'm still going to ask it anyway.
Oh, I know you're going to ask it. It's yes.
Do the restaurants all have pet stores near them?
Funny enough, so in Dong, I think it's Dongguan, or it might be Guangzhou. It's like one of the provinces, they legitimately do eat dog and cat, but it's not like pets, lost pets and stuff. It's a legitimate thing. They breed them to be eaten. It's just a cultural thing for that province. I did not have any. They didn't. We never went to a place that had anything like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm an adventurous eater. I probably would eat it, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, I already told my wife.
I'll eat it.
Zombie apocalypse situation. Like, I'm eating a dog. There's no question. We can't afford to feed this dog. We have small amounts of rations. I will eat this dog, and I will, I'll honor it as well. But I'm going to eat the dog.
Rob, for those out here who don't know, can you tell them what kind of dog you have and how big it is?
She's not going to feed much. She's
no,
she's 4.5 pound
in the palm
Chihuahua.
of your hand.
But I'll
she
still
says,
eat
"Yo
her.
quiero Taco Bell" when he grabs her.
Oh man.
I'm dating myself. Those commercials are old, right? There's probably a lot of people
Yeah.
in here that don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, we're all old. There's very
Yeah,
few
we're
young
all
people
old.
in
That's
here.
right. Well, I guess we can. We're getting close to the top of the hour. We can see if anybody out there had any questions for Geoff. Unless Geoff, you have any other things you want to go over from the Parts Express side.
There's lots of stuff, but let's give it up to some people so I'm not like over here boring everybody too much.
No, you're not boring us, man. Like I said, whatever you want to divulge, you're welcome to. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to see if there's any questions out here. You guys, if you have any questions about Parts Express or any about any of their products that they have, put them up here. And
I got while we're waiting for that, I got a buddy that he goes to different places, China, Japan, different stuff for business, and he said that they play a game. Is there fish in this? Because he said it doesn't matter what the dish is, it could be dessert, and there's possibility that it has some sort of fish in it.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I use fish a lot of the time in I make my own curry and curry paste and stuff like that. And I use fish. I mean, it's like fish sauce, and it's just so it's like they keep these fish and they like preserve them, and it's just like salt them, and then all the liquid that comes off, they keep pressing it, and then they take the liquid and they bottle it. And so realistically, there's fish in a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think about it in that sense. But like in like certain provinces in China, you can't eat fish like a way that you eat it here. They leave the head on everywhere in China. Wherever you're going, the head is always on the fish. And in like some of the port cities, you're not supposed to take the fish and flip it over. Like they use chopsticks and they pick pieces off the fish, off the skeleton, and then they're like, all right, time to lift the fish up. So they actually lift the fish up and then pick the underside. They don't flip it over because it's considered bad luck.
Oh, wow. And if you guys don't follow Geoff on Facebook, this dude is a cooking fool, man. He'll put some pictures up like, I want some of that. Send it on over.
He is that.
Yeah, I do like to cook. I don't want to ever be famous for it because I take criticism to heart. So it's like I want people to tell me what's wrong, but I don't need too many people telling me that I suck at it.
Don't ever do YouTube videos.
That's right.
It's only after the worst day at work that I read the comments and then I send it to Rob and I'm like, dude, I'm quitting. That's it. It's done. I got to deal with
That's why Geoff just does the voiceovers on them videos.
Yeah,
I hear him. I'm like, hey, that's Geoff.
That's the way to do it. I don't know if you guys see, but Basotronics is up in the house. We're gonna have to get him on a future show. That would be so awesome. Have him talk about his very cool tracks. And I
see a good question. I see a good.
I see he
does. Good.
He loves his pods. Yeah, we didn't even bring that up. Where you talk about your 3D pods and stuff.
I don't really do it much anymore. It got that was another thing that was like causing stress on personal life and family. So I mean, I might get back into doing it at some point, but right now I've got a lot of stuff on my plate that I'm just focusing on. And I even bought a 3D printer, a resin printer that I plan on doing some stuff with. But it was really fun and I made some good money doing it, but it's one of those things I just kind of value the extra time now with my family.
Yeah. Well, plus, you got a little munchkin, so you can't turn your head for 10 minutes. If he goes quiet, something's wrong.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. Right before he started crying, I had to run in there. I'm like, are you okay? You go to bed now. Thank you. But I saw one that said something about why we deal with Taiwan rather than China. Yeah. So we have different manufacturers all around the world, really. And for certain speakers, we have a couple factories in Taiwan that we deal with. We think they do a wonderful job. And right now, there's a lot of reason to deal specifically with them because there's no tariff. A lot of people think that the tariff was like really good and that China's paying all this money. People don't. It doesn't make any sense because we're the ones paying it, and it affects all the American consumers are paying it because a lot of us don't. We just lift the cost on stuff because we have to. I mean, there's not enough margin to do all this stuff, and 25% is so much. It's like I would have had like probably 10 more projects that would have already come in by now if there wasn't a tariff, because I can't make the margin work.
Yeah, Derek's been tooting his horn for a while, but people ain't listening to him.
They're not listening, man. I told them the story. It's like, look, we don't talk political here, but if you raise a tax on the people who sell all the stuff, they're not just going to pay it.
Yeah,
you're going to pay it. Right?
Some we do shoulder the cost on some stuff. Like if we have a really high price, like a really good selling item, that it would let the competition eat our lunch. Basically, we shoulder the cost on some of that stuff. And is it something we want to do? No, not really. And is it, if the really high margin stuff, sometimes we do the same there. But
yeah,
it's really.
I mean, interrupt you, Jeff, but I think my point of it is we get this statement from people that say if you raise the taxes on certain people or certain businesses, then this is all of a sudden going to be better for the normal person. And I'm like, how can anybody with the brain in their head think that these people are just going to pay more and just, oh, okay, then the other people are going to no, it trickles down and the people who buy the products are going to pay more. It's not rocket science, people. But anyway, it's the way the media pushes things and tries to get people to think a certain way, but everybody has to use their own brain. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just
you're
fine. Want to make sure I wasn't blaming Parts Express for raising the prices, because we understand you guys have to do that, in order to keep your profits at a certain level so they can pay people like you and buy products and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, if anybody else, the 21. I have no idea. So it's not my product category. I actually do home, pro, and recently I've kind of undertaken the car audio category for our house brands. So that one actually falls underneath the DIY speaker guys. So they handle that one. I can make a note to them to see what they think. But more than likely, since it's a new product, we won't know for a while if it'll be made in any other impedances.
So is Dayton going to have a car audio specific line at some point?
We'll see.
I'm
working on things. It's not something that comes lightly, because we don't just put, like we said, we don't really put the Dayton Audio name on just anything, especially when we're venturing into new markets. So, like I have some headphone amps that I'm working on, and I'm putting a lot of time and effort into them. And we don't really do headphone specific amplifiers, but I'm working on it. And there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm not willing to just put our name on anything.
I'm apt to just I throw home speakers, DIY speakers in my car anyway. So I mean, most of us do. It's like, who cares if it gets rusted out? It gets rusted out, or its cone falls apart. Who cares?
We don't have hatchbacks anymore much, so it's hard to do that. But back in the day, man, you had a hatchback. If you wanted it to be, forget rear fill. If you wanted it to be front stage, you just turned around. And turn back, and you're good to go.
Turned around, and you got the sharp. The 15-inch sharp towers. No, the sharp with the 15-inch, the mid, and the tweet. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you go on YouTube and search up Wayne Harris, they've got a video from him from like 1984 or something, where he was interviewed by a Texas TV station, and he had a Monte Carlo, and he had home audio equipment with the VU meters and everything like mounted in between, and he had the big pro audio speakers beside of it. So yeah, I mean, hey. You think of your roots and things can come back around. What is the roll of material on the wall behind Geoff?
Oh, so I mentioned this because they got brought up on another podcast. So I'm actually making a rolling picture frame art station for my son, so that way he can color and make his own portraits and stuff like that in the picture frame. And that's the butcher paper that I'm using. So that way he can actually, every time he fills it up, I'll just pull it down, rip it off. And if I actually want to frame it somewhere, I will, but it actually will have a frame in here that he colors in and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I expect you to hang all his paintings up.
I'm going to. I've only got so much wall space, but I'll make it work.
Just the new wallpaper.
That's it's only a wall. I mean,
Right.
you can just stack them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Veloster, that's a hatchback.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Those are cool.
I thought I saw a question about the adhesive. Or what does it say? The Dayton audio speaker surround adhesive stays tacky. Why is it?
I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I have some RS-180s. No, RS-220s. I had 180s in there, but I have some reference 8-inch speakers in my door, and they're clean. They don't get dust on them or anything like that. I think it just depends on maybe that was a weird batch that maybe had too much or didn't have enough activation, like the activator on it. Maybe he didn't cure all the way. Stuff like that happens with any manufacturer. So
Dayton reference series in car audio. I know, Geoff, you've been around. You've been in the SQ area of car audio for a while, obviously. So I know that you have a vested interest in some of that stuff. But do you keep tabs on how well those type of things are selling? Is that something in your mind or?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, like I just said, I have reference stuff in my car. I do stuff like that. So I mean, I know it happens. I go on to forums every once in a while. I check out like the Strictly Sound Quality. I'm an admin there, but I haven't been as active as I'd like to be just because work's been so crazy. But I like to go to like the shows, and I like to check on the forums and see who's using what. And that's my motivation for trying to do some Dayton audio stuff specific for car, because I mean, it'll be easier to monitor who's buying this stuff too, because if you provide them with something that's car specific, you can track that and see who's buying what and how many of the people were buying the reference stuff when they could have just had the car audio specific stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is true. Well, Geoff, we've reached the top of the hour here. We don't want to keep it too long. So did you want to shout out anything? Obviously, we'll leave the link to Parts Express in the video description here so people can go check out the site if you haven't been there. Or if you want to check and see what items are on sale, check the clearance section. Make sure you follow Geoff on Facebook, see what's cooking, and see, when his fancy new tube amp is coming out that we can all take a closer look at. That looks like a lot of fun. Is there anything else you wanted to shout out?
I just want to I appreciate you guys letting me come on here, and I'm glad everybody was on here and was asking so many questions. And so a lot of people, I mean, I do this for a living, but I mean, I try my best to answer a lot of the questions that get sent to me. Recently, it's been really hard because I have some really high profile projects that I'm working on pretty much 24/7. But under normal circumstances, I answer a lot of questions that are sent to me. But if you can find something out on Google, please don't send me a question and ask.
Yeah, that's a great point. And the other point to make too is, I mean, obviously, you're working all day, and for you to take the time to come on here and talk about your products and talk about your company, I mean, this is just extra hours that you're working. So we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to come on here and talk to us. And like I said before, anytime you have any new products coming out, anything in the car audio area, any of the raw drivers, and you want to talk about them, you're welcome to come back, and we'll be glad to get into the details and talk about the pros and the cons and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I'll see what I can do once these new subs come out. I'll see if I can get one of each and bring them in here and just let everybody look at and ogle them and answer questions.
Yeah. But you need to be hanging it with with your bungee cords. Okay, that's a requirement. You got to do that for the next video.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and sign up for episode 99 and remind the people that are here on YouTube, if you want to stick around, we'll hang out for a few minutes and just chat with some fun stuff. But we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us every week. And Geoff, thank you for coming on tonight again. Check out the video description for links to Parts Express. You can check out their products. And trust me, you get on that site, you're gonna be there for a while because it's really cool. Yeah. So we've got some other things. We got the old school SPL challenge that we're going to talk more about coming forward. But make sure, again, to check the link in the video description. That'll take you over to Facebook. You can see what that's all about. Get you some 18-inch Dayton Audio drivers to use for your old school SPL challenge and see if you can bust a 150. Right, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, because we can't. Somebody,
No.
hopefully
if
somebody,
I bust a 140,
somebody can.
I'm going to be happy.
Right.
140 is all I'm reaching for.
Yeah.
But again, thanks, Geoff, for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody, for joining us here. And remember, next week is episode 100 of 12 Volt Talk. We're very excited to reach 100. Thank you guys again for all that you, all the engagement that you give us during these shows. It really helps us out a lot. And if you're listening via the podcast, make sure you check out youtube.com/12vtalk or 12volttalk.com. And it'll just take you straight to the YouTube channel. You can listen to it on your phone. You can watch our beautiful faces as we're chatting.
Yeah.
Right.
Do it. Do it now.
All right. We will see you next week for episode 100. Thanks again, Geoff.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Later.
Bye.
All right. They're giving me crap in here. Yes.
Sonic.
Yes. This is a Sonic
is that
drink.
like a Wednesday thing, Rob?
No,
'Cause
it's an everyday thing because
every day.
my wife is Sonic's biggest fan.
Is that right?
She has to have her Diet Dr. Pepper with extra Diet Cherry
Oh.
drink every day. That's her drink. Sometimes she'll change it up a little bit, but
So let me
that's her
ask,
drink.
does she go to like when they have that, what do they call it, the happy hour, which is when like 2
You can
and
do it
5
on the
p.m.?
app. If
Oh.
you do it on the app, every hour is happy hour.
Oh, okay.
So
Well-
she always texts me. She's like, "You want a Sonic drink?" Because she's stopping every day, and I was like, "Yeah, of course I do. Who doesn't?"
So I'll tell you my Sonic story real quick. We had a Sonic here where I live, and we used to go occasionally. You know, I don't know. Sonic's okay. It's never my favorite, but we were just craving it one night. So we'd place our order. We drive up to the window. They've got a freaking like 78 for their. Do you guys do that scoring thing where they score the rating of the restaurant?
No.
Is that you don't do that there? Okay, we do it here.
This is Arkansas. We're hillbillies. They don't
If
care.
you have less than a 90, it's like a 92 or lower, I
Yeah.
would not eat there. Because they do it on the news, like they'll go through and talk about some of the local restaurants and they say what they have to get just below like a 95. And it's almost like they got rats on the floor and all this other stuff.
Gosh.
We pulled up and they had a 78. I was like,
Dude,
no, thank you. We're gone.
you want to
So
know the craziest thing about this Sonic thing is we don't even eat there. I never eat anything Sonic, but like Sonic's just like a thing in my wife's family. My wife's mom has worked there. Her sister has worked there. Both her nephews has worked there. My daughter has worked there. She's working at Walmart now. But yeah, we don't eat. She gets the Sonic drink, I would say at least 4 times a week.
Wow.
So yeah, just go for the drinks.
Oh, this is fun. I don't know how we. Oops, sorry. I don't know how we missed this one. Do you guys
Oh,
care any
Woody.
Woody products?
Quit talking about them Woodies. It's like Beetlejuice. They pop up if you say it. So this is an important question. That it is neither, because that's not an engine. Don't you remember that scene? Fast and Furious 2? When Brian gets up and they're trying to put him with the I don't remember the exact quote, but they're trying to put him with the FBI guy, and he's like, he doesn't know anything. He's like, so what engine would be better, a Gallo 12 or a Gallo 24? And he had the soda in his hand, the Gallo soda.
Okay. Well, it's pretty bad when you have to explain it to me because I don't remember that much. I've got the Blu-ray like pack of all the Fast and Furiouses. I've just never opened it.
You got it, man. They're
I've
good
watched them
movies.
all once or twice, but
It's much like Rad.
yeah. Well,
It's not a great movie,
The
but it's
Rad is
enjoyable.
just horrible. It's the first
but it's
5 minutes and the
enjoyable.
last 5 minutes of Rad
Yeah.
is great. The rest of
It's not a good movie. It's just
cringeworthy.
enjoyable, you know.
every
12 at time.
See, now we got drinks, but we ain't no T-Fade. T-Fade starts
yeah.
at like 3:00, I think, whenever he gets off work. He is lit by the time that show starts. Absolutely lit.
Yeah.
Woody juice. Oh, I did the wrong one. Oh, what happened to it? It keeps going away. There we go.
Oh no! Don't do it, Art. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh, see, Ken
somebody was
knows what's
sending
up.
me a link of another one that came out. You guys, I guess you remember, but one of the 4 channels I tested was a Woody, and it was like junk. It was
Yeah, it
junk,
was terrible.
absolute junk. That's why I didn't expect anything out of that other one. But hey, it's like what? And then now I'm sure they'll come back out and they'll be $150 or whatever.
Yeah. Or to blow up, who knows? Coming to America 2, not great. But
See,
must
I've heard
watch.
that too, and I haven't watched it yet, but I heard the same thing. It only had like a couple funny parts, and the rest of it was just kind of boring.
I've got so burned by like movies that I love, and I'll tell you 2 of them. Joe Dirt, absolutely love the first movie. The second one is atrocious. It's actually, it offends me that it even exists. It's that bad. And then another one is the Anchorman. I loved Anchorman 1. Anchorman 2 is hot garbage.
And I'll come forward with a couple of 2 that I think are that way. One is Wonder Woman. The first Wonder Woman to me was like,
yeah, that movie
probably
was
the
so
best of all.
I talked it up to my family so much. They never watched Wonder Woman 1. I was like, hey, we got HBO Max. We could see Wonder Woman 2. Y'all can just watch this because I don't think it's affiliated as much. And then, I was like,
yeah, 2. And I think I warned you because we watched it, I think, before you did. And I texted you. And I'm like, Rob, it's not that good. And Rob's like, we're still going to watch it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I'm just telling you. It was, yeah.
Hey, sometimes you got to do it anyways.
Justin, I'm sure you probably sent me an email and I told you I was going to do that. Dude, I've been trying to get database and get pictures of all the ones I've tested. I have tested the NT100 and I have it somewhere. Send me an email, willistonaudio@gmail.com, and I will do my best to remember. I've got so many dyno sheets because I've tested probably 400 amplifiers by now.
Yeah.
That I've had to kind of recycle. See, yeah, I haven't seen Joe Dirt 2, so I don't even know. Obviously, I don't want to watch it.
It's horrible.
Coming to America, the flashbacks. So
I loved Coming to America, the first one.
Yeah, the first one's hilarious. So this interesting, Matthew, that you say this because I think Sundown did it themselves. They posted gut shots of both amps, and the Sundown SIA had 2 transformers. They were much bigger. It had more capacitors, and the Smart 3 just did not look like it compared to it at all. But all I'll say is Jacob at Sundown is very smart, so I'm sure that after some of the issues that I guess that they've had with the SFBs, the fact that you cannot run them under 1 ohm, the fact that they are a first gen full bridge type amp, that Sundown has done, they've run into a couple little hiccups. I know that the 5 channel I tested, so what I typically do when I test an amp is, you guys don't see like where I have the amp sitting and everything that's going on, but I typically keep a 100 amp, right now 100 amp, later it's going to be more, but a 100 amp charger going to the capacitors. The capacitors that I'm using I'm not using the batteries, I haven't used them in a while, I'm using the super caps, but the capacitors should filter out virtually any noise. You know how that's what capacitors do, right?
Yeah.
That 5 channel Sundown was whining with noise, and that tells me that you may have some engine noise problems with that amp. Now, I have the SFB 1000 in my Honda. I have had it for a while. Of course, it has crossed over and it's playing just a subwoofer only, and it sounds fine to me. I pulled out the Rockford 200 DSM and put the Sundown in, and I can definitely tell it's louder. Does it sound better? Unfortunately, I put it in right before the pandemic, and I haven't driven the car all that much. But
I'm waiting to see that JP8 in there.
Yeah, what I need to do now, I'm sure I got a video of it, but I just haven't shown it yet. But I did a video of when the 200 DSM was in there. I did SPL measurements with that JL10W7. I think it was 136, 137 or something is what I got with that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the SFB 1000 does, and then the JP8. I'd like to put that one in there too. The only pain in the butt thing is to have to run that new remote base cable because it's not the same between that amp and the other one. I don't think. Maybe it is. Maybe it is an RJ45.
It might be. If not, can't you cut the ends off and repin them?
If it's got enough, because the JP uses the Cat 5e, and it should be 8 wires, so it should be the same as the other one. But the one that comes with the Sundown, I think it's a flat one, so it's hard to cut it and straighten them out.
Well, plus I'd say that the SIA comparison to the Smart 3, I mean, the Smart 3 is a good amp. I mean, in my opinion, that's one of the best ones that Terramps has ever made.
It is. And I think what he's talking about where it's identical is Sundown's designed it where it can work under 1 ohm. It's got the circuitry where it will limit the current, which is smart, which is, if you guys saw my video on the Smart 3, is exactly what it did. It would play down to 0.5 ohm, but when it reached 300 amps, it stopped. And it's not like it shut off, but it would just stop the flow of any more current going to it. So that's very, very smart. And there was another question there I just saw a minute ago. Hold on, where'd it go? 10W7 James, and that's actually the one I got from Rob. You can see on his channel. Custom. Yeah, he actually refoamed it, did a new foam, and I told him, I was like, dude, I've always wanted one of those. Sell it to me. He's like, okay. Yeah. I love that speaker. That is a perfect speaker for somebody who doesn't want your windows to like bust out, but yet still wants really deep bass. That is a great speaker.
I had 3 8W7s a long time ago, and like a dummy, I sold them. I wish I still had those.
Yeah, they're tough. I mean, they're tough speakers, man. They really, really sound good. Of course, there's a lot of subs these days that sound good.
Yeah. Oh, Fuego. Sneak peek. We're gonna have guests.
Yeah, next week is gonna be guests. So we're gonna try to like bring people and just let them drop in and tell us what's going on with them. It's not gonna be as much about us and the show as it is just about some of the past guests that we've had. So we just have them do some updates. But obviously, it's a big deal. We made it to 100. I mean, Rob can tell you, and I'll be just as frank as I can with you guys. There was a time when I was thinking about just dipping. I mean, and it's nothing against any of you because I appreciate being here and appreciate doing it, but it's just trying to balance everything that you're trying to do. You're trying to do this and do that, but I just got a second wind, and I was like, well, let's just start doing it every week, Rob. If we can't get guests, then we can't, or if we don't have them, it's usually not the fact that we can't get them. It's just the fact that I'm a poor planner. I don't contact people.
It's hard to. I mean, when you line up guests, you're trying to get schedules, and we're like rigid because we do it on Wednesdays at 7, and every other day is taken up now. Half of them by me, one of them by Kicker, but we try not to step over.
And I mean, you're asking a lot too to ask somebody to give an hour of their evenings up when they work all day. They talk about this stuff all day, and a lot of people are the ones that are actually in the industry. So it's asking a lot. So we do our best, but OS, did I miss updates? So we're going to put the link, Mitch, in the description. I guess we could just pull up the page and give some updates, couldn't we, Rob?
Yeah, for sure. And we're doing the sticker thing. I've already made a post. If you guys aren't on the Old School SPL Challenge Facebook page and you're on Facebook, go ahead and join it because you're going to want to see. If you want a sticker, I have all the info on that. If you want to do a donation, I have the info on that on the page. It's marked under the announcements.
All right, sorry, I was trying to pull it up here. Let's see. All right, let's see. Where are they posting the... Any of you guys who are still on.
It should be in the announcements page.
Announcements?
The scores.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the 2 posts I made.
Yep, the 2 posts that Rob made about the stickers. Oh, here we go. Oh, we don't want to see insights. Sorry, that was a big dummy move. Facebook for the lose. Is that all we got? We got 2 0 to 50s.
See more.
Oh, here we go. Again, you guys are gonna have to apologize. Sorry for big dummy here. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Whoa.
There we go. Whoa.
Ooh, we getting heavy with the zoom. All right, so 0 to 50 watts. We've already got Mitchell, Australian mate, has busted a 151.69. I'm planning on using my HCCA 225 first gen, 0 gen that Bernie Bolin sent me. Psych. Second gen.
Oh, it's the H22.5 HCCA.
Yeah, the HC.225A, whatever he said right before he talked about the chips for the Xbox. But
Dave put up a number as well.
Look at that. Yeah, Dave, 51 to 100.
Yeah.
A 144. Yeah.
Andy. Oh, even Jesse. Look at. Last time he didn't even bust 130. So he's up there now.
What is the Kappa 102A? I didn't know it was
It's
that
the
big.
green. It's not.
Well,
It's not
he's
that big.
not.
It's like a 300
is
watt
he
amp or
walled? Why is he 501 watts plus? Jesse, you must answer. What's up with that? Did you put that in the wrong category?
That's only 50 watts by 2, right?
I wouldn't think
his speakers might go up too high if they're if they're less than 12 inches from the top.
I think it's interesting that Andy, if you watch Andy McGill's video on that Pioneer, he got crazy power out of that amp. It's like a 4-channel amp rated at like 37 watts by 4.
Yeah. Have you never tested one of those X Series Pioneers?
I have not. I've had one and used it, and it's strong, but I've not tested one. Have you?
I used one last year. I tested one, and I used it last year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it goes. My enclosure was too high to the liner. I haven't showed this off. The guys on Patreon have seen this several weeks ago, but I have not shown this off. And since you guys stuck around, I figure I might as well, if I can lift it up, right?
He be stroking.
Yeah, a 15.
Yeah.
Check that out.
He be stroking to the east.
Finally
Here,
got
I'm going to make you full screen so they can see it.
Yeah, check that dude out. Let me get this.
Ooh, knocking over the
the
microphones.
Yeah.
It ain't focused on it for. Oh, there we go.
Because I have to get up above the microphone.
Yep. No, we got it now. Well, there we go. That's a 15? Is it 15, Rob? Oh,
15-inch dual 2-ohm.
15 dual 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweetness.
Yeah. That's going in the Trooper if that build ever gets done.
When are you doing your scores? Yeah, that's right. Get to work, Rob.
I know. I got to finish the install before I can do a score.
I know.
I've got surprise amps, though.
Ooh.
So I've got surprise amps I want to use.
Jesse says the 102A is 100 times 2. Oh, but he also said that he got too close to the roof.
Yeah.
So
it's like a 400 watt amp, I think, bridged.
I was going back to find Mitchell's original post because what was that? He used like was it a cadence amp?
Yeah, that 50 watt, the Z.
Yeah. Mitchell, did he have a clamp on that on his term lab? Did we see the actual power? I can't remember.
He shows everything when he does on his post that I've seen. He shows everything.
What was the power that quote unquote 50 watt amp did? Help me remember. 50 watt King LOL.
I don't remember.
Basatronics is out of the house eating his roasted chicken. Peace
Yeah,
out.
we need Basatronics on here.
No
We haven't
doubt.
talked to anybody that does bass tracks.
I sent him an email one time before asking him could I use Bass I Love You in one of my videos. He's like, I can't tell you that. I'm like, why? He said, because the record label has it. I said, well, call him and say, hey, you want to let this guy? He said, can't do it. I said,
Freaking record labels, man.
I know.
He's going to have to make it a little bit different.
I said, well, if I play just a bass version only, they don't content match that. They just see the woofer flexing.
When was that? That was on a different track, right? A different album. Because I for a long time, I didn't even know it was Basatronics. I thought it was, I can't think of it.
Yeah, I don't know. And the one that I normally play is the 2 TOO version of Bass I Love You 2.
2, yeah.
Because it's got more of the flappy flap to it. If you know what the flappy flap is.
The flappy flap.
It's the part where it goes.
I'll tell you what. I got this boombox built and put together before the show.
You got some
she's
flappy
basing,
flap,
man. It is a blast. It's a blast box for sure.
You're gonna need to turn it around because it's got a passive on the back, right?
Right.
And you got to get the angle just right, and you got to put your camera in high frame rate, and you got to get that passive radiator flapping. That'll make you win the contest if you show that thing a flapping. Oh, there it is. It's a Z or Z 7000.
Yeah.
And ZRS 8. Which one is it, Mitchell? You're confusing me.
He might have done both.
And then Jesse says, "Oh, Z 7000." We can't say Z because that's only us United States people.
Yeah. But there, you know what? I'm not down with the Z. What
Not
other
down with the Z? The ZED.
Whichever every other they say the rest of the alphabet like normal people, right? And then when it gets to C, and then when they get see, here's the thing about it. Like Ozzy Osbourne, he doesn't sing with the accent, does he?
Nope.
No, because that's not how you talk.
We didn't come over here to America to talk like the people in England. We came over here to talk like people from America.
Even their pop stars sing in not an English accent.
You're right, because I remember the first time I heard some of these people talk, and it's like, wow, they talk that way, but they don't sing that way.
Yeah,
so why don't you sing with the accent?
Some of them do. I've heard very. Sorry, man. I do hot takes. Good thing. This is after show. This isn't on the podcast for everyone else to hear.
Yeah.
Next, speaking American.
So Terrence asked a good question. I actually watched one of the Patrick's videos the other day, the Robot Underground. We'll have to talk about getting him on here sometime. Patrick has been around
for a while,
for a long time, and he knows a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and he's really interesting dude to listen to. If you watch any of his videos, I know he knows like what products were made by who, and he knows where you could get OEM stuff of the high end, and he just got that, that knowledge of the whole industry. Of course, he's in Arizona, I think, so he's right there like in the heart of the car audio scene when it was big back in the day. And he's got definitely doing some interesting things.
I haven't caught any of them, but I remember like back in the early 2000s, he was selling. The reason I remember is because, for one, he sold the Weco plugs. Mm-hmm. You could get them from him on the Robot Underground, and you could also get. There was something else that he was selling. Oh, the ADS component set. You can get the recone kits for the tweeters and all that from him.
Yeah, he bought a lot of the overstock stuff, and I think he's still got a lot. I mean, he told me one time before he still had a lot of precision power and all this, this older stuff. But I think he had a lot of his older videos pulled down because he was playing music in the background or something, and it got flagged, and he got mad and just said, I'm just taking it down, and he shut his channel down. But he definitely is coming back now. And I've only watched one or two of his videos. He actually gave us a shout out in one of them because he was talking about starting, how it is to run a car audio business, and he referenced our one of our recent podcasts. We were talking about that, and we had Scott on from Power Hog about how difficult it was, to start up and buy things from China and just kind of start your own business type deal. What else?
That's a good point. Facebook, you post and it's just lost forever. 100%.
Yes.
Dude, it's the worst.
The only one good thing I will say is in a lot of our groups under the files tab, we've got a lot of people to add in scans of old brochures and old manuals and stuff that are hard to come across. I try to do my best to download all those, and I keep them on my Dropbox. And that way, if anybody ever needs a manual or whatever, I try to keep as many as I can there. And I noticed, speaking of robot, in Patrick's video, he was showing, he went through his hard drive because he was looking for pictures of something to show that he was talking about. And he had a folder of manuals, and he had like every manufacturer you can think of. I was like, ooh, I got to hit him up and see what he's got that I don't have. I don't know. Didn't Ryan do a Power US, whatever you call it?
I don't know. I haven't caught Sam's video on it either, but I've heard people talking about it.
Yeah, he did a really detailed, like an hour and a half or something, and I haven't seen it either, but it's on my playlist, so I will watch it. But what did he say, James? Did he like it or not? If anybody who watched it, tell me, because I did chat with Sam today because I showed him the JP8 and asked him some questions about it and stuff. And you guys may remember last year when Sam and I did the collab, and he was going to rebuild that audio pipe 3K to try to beef it up, the one that looks like the tar amps. He has done a lot toward completing that, but he's not completed it yet. But I told him, I'm like, dude, you need to release the first part of that video, the one that he sent me, just to show me, because it was so interesting with him talking about how he determined what size transformer he could put in there, how he decided all the parts, and how he knew how much thermal, the heat sink could take and all that. It was super, super interesting. It was about 30 minutes long, but he said he's going to try to finish it, add a little bit more voiceover to it and drop it next week. So you guys be on the lookout. I'll definitely share it whenever he drops it, but we're trying to get that done so he can send it back over and we can do some more testing.
Jesse, don't blame me. You should be thanking me because Sonic Blast are excellent. But it's a little close to bed for a Sonic Blast, if I'm being honest.
Well, it depends on what part of the country you're in.
I guess so. If you're in California, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad if you're on the West Coast.
Jesse had pizza last night.
I know. He got loaded down with a kicker.
He's famous now. I seen him on the Kickers live stream.
Yeah, he's up there. I tell you, man, they're polished the way they do their shows. I know they had some audio issues with Kip's headphones, but man, yeah, they just got that stuff down. Of course, they should. They're a big company. They didn't have to go to the CES and the SEMAs and stuff like that, so they have all that extra money to use on other things. And I just think that they're killing it with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that
I would put the issues. I wouldn't put it past Kip to do something like that on purpose. It's a total Kip move.
It is. But he's such a pro, man. He can.
He is.
He can talk around it like nobody's business. I'll be up there, blah, 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 blah. I can't half talk anyway, but hold on. Here we go. I'm glad somebody posted it.
Yeah. Wait, the new one? I watched one yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday too. There can't be another one already. I think
he might have just watched it today.
Yeah, I think you might be a day behind because it dropped yesterday, and I sent Rob a text. I'm like, dude, you got to see this video. We talked about it at the very beginning of this one, JV. Was it actually when we started, Rob, or was that before?
When we started. at
It
the
was
beginning.
when we started, yeah, because we gave DIY Audio Guy a shout out because he made a
He's
comment.
killing it right now. He's fixing to pass me in subs.
He is killing it.
Mhm.
Ride the wave, brother.
Yeah.
Just-
See what I'm gonna try to get out. I want him to get enough subs that I can start siphoning subs off of him. That's how it works. It all
Got
comes
to share,
back to
man.
me.
We all got to be in this together. It's tough out there right now. Like we were talking about earlier with Geoff. I've seen a big hit in my views, but it could just be content.
I think we had
stale.
I think we had a big peak too in November and December, so it kind of raised our expectations.
Yeah.
Because I'm wanting to say that I had almost 40% more views in those 2 months than I typically did have.
Yeah, I attribute a lot of my peak in December to Kicker because we did that collaboration with the Quad Box, and they were sending people over to my video to get the link to go to the contest.
Yeah.
So that helped me, but I've been pretty consistent over the past year, and then this past month,
Yeah.
YouTube reminds me every time I sign in, minus 40% or minus 30%. I'm like, what is going on?
Usually what you do is you'll have one big video every month or two, and that kind of one that just blows up and boom, and that keeps it going.
Yeah, and it has the after effect too because people will watch, the followings, but they must be boring. So I don't know. I obviously I haven't found the secret sauce, or I would do all the ones that
I thought for sure the JP8 was going to.
I did too. I don't think it went out to all the subscribers.
You're probably right. I think you're right.
I posted in my community tab and told people, hey, if you didn't get to see this, I'm posting it here, and a lot of them responded. We didn't get the notification, so
yeah.
YouTube killing us. Yeah, hold on. Before we go, we've got to pull up that thumbnail. If there's a way to pull it up, we can see it.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Of Doug and Mark.
Well, see, they misunderstood my instructions. I sent them out to tell them to get Doug to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And then he made fun of the DIY Audio Guy.
Okay, here we go. All right, I got to zoom in so you can see this if you haven't seen it. I'm just laughing because it is hilarious.
Wait up, where's the DIY Audio
Oh,
Guy?
no, I didn't. Okay, there we go.
Is he in there?
Well,
no, that's just Mark and
yeah, no, DIY Audio is definitely in there when you start watching.
Yeah, when
he does it. He does it near the beginning, but that thumbnail, man, is like. Of course, he's got a lot of look at that one.
Yeah, that dude's a fool, man.
OMG, he's killing me, man. Oh, there's another one.
Oh man, look at this. Mr. Berg went and watched your video just so he could tell you how much power that.
Oh, there you go.
You're the man.
Thank you, sir.
The man.
Oh, that's just too much fun. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get caught up in that, but so Rob, some of these stressful days at work are just driving me crazy, and that video just came at the right time. Doug is just a fool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is my last video.
Yep. This is the end. I've come to the end. I mean, there's so many clickbait, and you've heard what Scotty says about that. He says he does it just to get people's attention so they can see what he's really talking about. I'm like, yeah, but you would think.
That's what we found out. What happened?
There you go.
Damn it, Justin! Leave our views alone.
He is stealing our views.
He is, man.
Every time I sign on to YouTube, I got a picture of this guy with his band pass box. I'm like, I've watched the video already. Why y'all keep giving it to me again?
Oh man. Well, I mean, then you get
good for you, man. It's like I said, ride the wave while you can and keep it going if you can. But it ain't easy. It's good to have a good one, but woo, ups and downs, brother. Just be prepared because it is like that on YouTube. Unless you're Mr. Beast.
That's why I don't blow up on any videos. I do it on purpose. I'm just trying to keep slow and steady. No, I'm not. I wish I'd blow up on.
Wow, yeah. You'll have one. You'll have one hit.
Well, you know what's crazy is I'll have videos that do really well. Like that video done, but the subscriber rate So right now, I think he's got 60,000 views on that video. I've had several videos that done that quickly, but for some reason, I didn't turn it over into subscribers. Weird.
Maybe it's just because
They don't like seeing my face.
We're not asking enough.
Maybe.
I think Justin's got down the whole, follow the rules of tell people to like and tell them to subscribe and all that stuff, which I don't do enough of myself.
Yeah. I say it somewhat in every video. I say something about it.
To me, sometimes it's like, I just want to see the video. I don't need you to tell me what I need to do. And that's what I try to do myself. But I do think that the power of suggestion is very strong. So I think if you remind people, hey, if you subscribe, you can see other content like this. That's really not a bad thing to do. It's just, I don't fit it in. I tell them to subscribe to Willie Williston.
I always try to keep my videos short as possible. So all that stuff usually ends up on the cutting room floor because you should see how long these videos are before I cut them down. I cut out, you guys know, you see on this show every week, I say a lot of dumb gibberish and I cut it out.
Yeah. a 30-minute video is very possible for all the stuff that we do, but I just don't know. Some people tell me like, hey, you should have done the low ohm test and the 12 volt test of the JP8 in the same video. I'm like, dude, it would have been 30 minutes. They're like, we don't care. We would have watched it. I'm like, yeah, but I think more people would have watched 2 different videos than one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
One of the ones I like, the guy that does the Ghost Town, the Cerro Gordo, and it's called Ghost Town Living. And it's really interesting. The guy does a fantastic job on his videos. But anyway, he just did one that was an hour long because it was his 1 year, 1 year episode of actually being there at Cerro Gordo. And he talked about going through some of the old stuff that he did. Like he's got mines he's exploring and all that stuff that's on the property. It's really, really interesting. But his video was like an hour long. But it was interesting. I watched the whole thing. I'm like, man, this guy is good. I don't think I could be that good to do an hour-long video.
No, unless it's a podcast.
Yeah, then people are already sleeping.
Yeah, I've been actually testing a lot of head units lately, and people do seem to enjoy those.
I love watching head unit videos. Those are awesome. I should do more of those too. But yeah, Rob, the ones that you've done, man, those are super, super cool.
I wish I would have done all the head units in this fashion, but I really didn't have my method perfected on how I wanted to do it.
Yep.
And I still to this day miss stuff. I missed one on the last one where I didn't do with the power off.
Turn off the IC amp. Yep.
And I might do it again if I don't remind myself.
I try to write down, but I sometimes forget too because, I'll like test how quick it connects to Bluetooth and all that other stuff.
That's stuff I haven't done either.
And and how it loads like a whatever audio file that it supports, MP3 or FLAC or whatever. How quickly when you plug it in, because like that Blaupunk, when I did that video, I was like, dude, this thing connects just like that, and you put your USB drive in, and the song started playing just like that. There you go, Cadence Z. 7,000, 151.69, 1185 RMS. And that one is rated, remind me again.
I don't know what that was rated. What was that rated, Mitch?
I'll find out if he can't comment.
John's spot on people watch all day and totally never even think to subscribe. You don't. I think if you're not a YouTuber like me, if I watch one video and I'm like, oh, this is an excellent video, I like this, I subscribe just because I want to see, even if it's not my thing, I want to see what else they're doing.
Yeah, it's rated 50 watts at 4 ohms, 100 watts at 2 ohms, or 1,500 at 1 ohm. Cheater. Yeah, I found one on Car Audio Classifieds from, what year was this? 2012. So if you go back in the Wayback Machine, maybe you could pick it up. They were only asking $200 shipped. Could have got this.
It's probably about what it's
probably
worth.
Probably long gone. It's orange. Aren't you glad? All right, Rob. We about done. We worn out We worn out our welcome here on the internet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we didn't buy nothing this time. I'm not looking at boom boxes, but I'm building a boom box.
That is exciting. I cannot wait to see that and see the reveal and see what Justin and Nick have done.
I'm curious what they've done. I've got an idea. I mean, and Nick kind of thought that Justin might put a VU meter in his. They're trying to sway.
I gotta say, Rob, you're my boy, but if whoever's got the VU meter has got my vote. So,
what if I just paint some on mine?
I don't know. As long as you can make a move.
Well, see here, what I'll do is I'll use like the glow in the dark paint. Okay. And light on, light off, light on, light off.
All right, you can figure it out. The splatter paint. Hey, that's a good idea, Rob. Maybe you should go back and do that.
I've done it before.
Didn't that video do really good? The one with the splatter paint? Yeah, because that thumbnail was just a very captivating thumbnail.
I didn't even change the saturation on that photo either.
Always boost your saturation.
I know I need to.
Always.
That's probably why I'm not getting subs, because I'm not working hard enough on my thumbnails.
That's it. You gotta always boost it, because you remember people are looking at it in a small thing, so you gotta like enhance it so it stands out, sits down.
Yeah, I didn't even put a video out this week because I got so far behind doing things that around the house that I needed to do. I was like, I can't, and I needed to have this boombox built because the video needs to be done by Sunday.
I spent literally all last weekend working on stuff. I finished the JP8 video on Saturday, but then during the day on Saturday, I tested several more things, and then Sunday all day I tested several different amplifiers, and Sunday evening I'm like, I'm done, but I've got all this content now. I'm still got to edit it.
Let's see what I did. I put a radiator in my daughter's boyfriend's car the weekend before last weekend. We had to go pick out a couch. The old one is getting pretty rough, so we did that. Yeah, that pretty much ate up last 2 weekends.
Well, it's tough to. There's Dean himself. Dean, Rob and I were just talking before the podcast that we were watching that Alpine powered sub with the 25x4 amp and the DSP and everything. That looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
He never said the price though. I don't think. Did you say the price?
Well, it's $5.99. He showed it on the video. It's okay. $5.99. And but I seen it at Audio Savings for $519, or maybe it was even $400 something.
Oh, so they got dip. They got the price dip.
Yeah.
That thing was sweet. If you guys haven't seen Dean's video on that Alpine, it's X50 something. The model number to me looked like an amp.
It's
That's
why I was like X or D5X or something like that.
Yeah, something weird.
Those I like the installer bay are my favorite 5-star videos, but those other like the product highlight videos are my second favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean does a good job of condensing a video review down, because it's easy to make those super long.
Yeah.
And not as engaging, but he does a good job of making them engaging. But that's interesting. So, I did test a DS18 this weekend, is all I can say. It might not be that exact model, but I did, and it's coming. That's
Is it
coming.
the DS18 amp that hit me with some sticker shock?
Yes. And all I can say is I've got the clip picked out right now from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad clip. So that may give you if you guys can remember. So they're driving across the country and they get to, I don't know, where was it? Almost to Colorado. And then Lloyd started driving and he went the wrong way, remember? Yeah. And they ended up, and then they get out of the car, and then what's his name wakes up and he's like, these Rocky Mountains aren't quite so rocky. And then they decide, oops, he drove the wrong way for 4 hours or 8 hours, whatever it was. So then, guy. Then well, I can't. What's his name? Jeff Daniels, but I can't think of his name in the movie. Anyway, he gets out of the truck. He's all mad. So Lloyd takes off in the van, and then he comes back and he's riding the little mini bike. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right over the mini bike, and he stops and looks at him. He's like, "What have you?" He said, "Sold it. And I traded it straight up to a kid in town for the van. 70 miles per gallon, this hog." And he's like, "Just when I think you can't do anything dumber, you totally redeem yourself." Okay, so that's where I was getting at. The totally redeem yourself part is what I'm going to use for the video, because they totally redeemed themselves on that app. That's all I can say.
Oh, that was quite a setup for all that.
That was a little long, so my apologies.
X that out of the video.
You guys are going to want to watch Dumb and Dumber now, so you can get to that part.
Oh, I'll do like a long take when I'm sitting right here, and I'll just say, like, I'm saying so much stuff that sometimes I forget what I'm even talking about, and then I circle back around to it.
You should use those at the end of your videos.
I need to, yeah.
You need to. I've got probably 10 minutes of Dick Riculous segments where I just went off and just complete dumb tangent. Yeah, right. We're gonna our new thing, if this car audio thing doesn't work out, is we're gonna just do movie reviews. We've already talked about Wonder Woman and Joe Dirt, and
we could probably get more subscribers doing that than we got.
I'm sure we could.
To be honest,
I'm sure we could. That would be fun. Hey Rob, do you want another night of the week where you could do streaming?
Might as well.
If we did Friday night, I might not be married much longer, because Friday night is our family night. So that's the only free night too. There we go.
We need to have, because me and Dean talk about movies and TV every single week.
So y'all are gonna have to change your title of your show then. Or we'll have to do it every other week, and then do the movie review ones on the other. Because I'll do it once once a week, but I can't do a different night. Because you already do Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Kicker does Tuesday, so we're pretty much booked all week.
So it's my fault. It's all my no. We definitely got it. We got to do the movie cast, because what else we need to do the. Where we can all watch one movie on Disney Plus. That would be fun.
Yep. That sounds like good
man.
Times. All right. 77 of you fools are still watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to the Dumb and Dumber story. More content coming. Just be ready.
Yeah.
Willie Wilson, Hi-Fi Vega, Wilson Audio Labs, 5-Star Car Stereo, DIY Car Audio Guy, Third Era, help me out, Audi
RVH.
5000, RVH. Did we miss anybody?
Andy.
Give yourself a shout out. Living Loud with Andy, of course. Yeah. Subscribe to Living Loud with Andy. Beardy's birthday. Happy birthday, Beardy.
Yeah, I think we probably missed a lot of people, but
we did. We try our best. You guys do it in the next one at the end, and we'll give you shouts out. All right, peace out, fellas. We'll talk to you next week with episode 100 or 100.
100. 100.